tapes, we're having a blast. Teenage dreams and neon screens, it was all rad, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like whatever, together forever. We're never gonna sever, laughing and sharing our stories clever. We'll take you back, it's like whatever.
Welcome to Like Whatever, a podcast for, by, and about Gen X. I'm Nicole, and this is my BFFF, Heather.
Hello.
I'm
Yeah,
exhausted, dude.
we did this once already, and then we had technical issues, so we're having to redo it. So this is last minute.
I mean, it's still going to be amazing because it's a great script. But yeah, and I'm exhausted, man. Life has been very fast lately.
Yeah, she just got back from St. Louis.
I did. I had a great time. Lovely city. I would love to go back and see it. And then yesterday, my friend had surgery, and I've been helping her with that. And I'm just ready for some normalcy and routine back in my life.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, I'm not a go kind of girl. I like sitting.
Need your rest and relaxation.
I haven't done much sitting lately.
I hate that kind of shit when you're not like, I need my rest. I need to. I can't be going all the time.
I just finished therapy, and I told her straight up, I have not been doing self-care. I'm just gonna tell you that. I've been eating like shit. I'm not getting the right sleep. It's just stay focused on to the next one. That one's done. Let's do the next thing until we get it done. But there's light at the end of the tunnel. I think normalcy is over the horizon, hopefully.
Well, you got the weekend, right?
I do. But my house needs to be cleaned so bad because I haven't been here. So, you know how much I love to clean. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. Blech.
Ugh.
So I was told that I have to, Nicole, when we recorded, I had the eagle from Big Bear on my brain. And so I went on a rant about it. And I don't think it was a rant.
No, but it was a good 15 minutes of a really good update. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I don't think it's fair for us to keep it from our listeners.
Well, there's more to add because it's been 2 days.
There is. So. And I even saw it on the news. It was on CBS.
It's on all the news everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yes.
So if you don't, yes. So in case you don't know, it's a mated pair of bald eagles at the Big Bear Lake, and they have a Facebook page, Friends of Big Bear. And it's the point. So it's a tight shot of the nest that they have been nesting in for a very long time. And then they have a couple of shots where it's like, so you can see above the nest and like, so they're wide shots of the whole area. So you can see them pretty good. But the parents are Jackie and Shadow, the mated pair, Jackie and Shadow. And this year they have gone through it. This year has been rough on us all. So 2 years ago, they had their eggs did not hatch. So they did not have a set of chicks at all. And it was devastating, just devastating because they grieve the law. And it took Shadow longer than Jackie to give it up. Like, cause he was still fucking with the nest and stuff like that. So it was just sad to watch, but you know, the whole point of this camera, so you can observe their natural behavior, and it's all part of nature.
Right.
So last year they had 2 successful chicks. Well, she laid 3 eggs.
Okay.
All 3 eggs hatched, but it snows well into May at Big Bear Lake, and so it got cold and it snowed. And when Shadow was taking his turn incubating the chicks, when he went to get up, one of the chicks was stuck to his leg. And when he went to leave the nest, it was still stuck to his leg, and the eaglet ended up falling out of the nest.
Hmm.
Yeah. So then they had just two.
Right.
But they successfully fledged and went away, and it was Gizmo and Sunny were the two last year. And one of the other cool things is there's a kindergarten class or first grade or an elementary school. I don't know if it's the whole school or what. They vote on the names, whatever school is there.
Aw.
So they name them. I don't know what the fuck that was. Anyway, so this year I have my bird with me, and she is not liking my headphones. So this year they had the first set that she laid, ravens got to and ate her eggs.
Right.
So they did not hatch, obviously. And then she laid a second set, and that hatched 50. They're like 53 or 54 days old now.
Okay.
So, but the ravens, because ravens are opportunists, they still have issues with ravens, and it was pretty crazy because the ravens kept trying to get in the nest. Oh, there's also a squirrel that lives there, and her name is oh shit, I can't remember what the squirrel's name is. I don't remember what the squirrel's name is, but they've named the squirrel too. Okay, stop. That's really distracting. It's right in my ear. So this fucking bird. But I just got home from work, like right before we did this, so hasn't been out of her cage all day.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so the ravens were coming and bothering, trying to get to the chicks, and Jackie and Shadow were having to like chase them off all the time. So ravens are obviously pretty fucking smart.
Mm-hmm.
So they would try and lure them out of the nest and then try and come into the nest and grab the babies, but they didn't do that. And then one day, the wide shot, you can see the ravens like pestering them, coming back and forth and stuff. And all of a sudden, Shadow comes like out of nowhere and snatches one of them out of the air.
Wow.
And then they show the nest. They go back to the nest, and he brings in a raven, so that the chicks got to eat a raven. So that was pretty crazy. I mean, if you're gonna
an eye for an eye,
if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So
I love your Taylor Swift.
So they also, Jackie, when she was incubating the eggs, got attacked by an eagle, which happens a lot in other nests that I've watched. The eagle or the owl takes advantage of it being night and tries to knock the eagle off the nest so it can get the egg. But she didn't. Anyhow, moving on. Both chicks hatched. Yay. They are named Sandy and Luna.
Mm-hmm.
And so a subadult is bald eagles do not get their white heads until they're like 4 or 5.
Okay.
So a subadult does not have the white head. So recently, a lot of subadults have been in the area, which is completely natural process. They're trying to find that the lake is full of fish, and everybody wants a piece of this area. Blah blah blah. So Jackie and Shadow chase them away. Well, these particular 2 subadults that have been coming around have been pretty aggressive in getting to this nest. This nest, by the way, I just did find this out. This nest is the nest Jackie was born in.
Aww.
Yeah, she took over the nest after her parents. I don't know if they died or moved on or what happened to them, but
they retired, moved to Florida.
I guess they did. They moved to Florida, and they are now happy there.
Yes. So real quick, are these 2 younger eagles a male and female pair?
No.
Oh.
They know at least, well, they don't know. It's really hard to tell. the difference between a male and a female, especially as a subadult. But females are typically larger than males, and one of them is definitely a female because it's pretty big, but I'm not sure about the other. They're also, I think, too young to be a mated pair yet.
Okay.
Like, I
So
think
why
they're
would you
not.
look at this?
Well, they are becoming. They think they're about 4 years old. So
Okay.
this nesting season would be their first clutch.
Gotcha.
So that's probably why they're being so aggressive.
So they're like planning for next year.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The mating process happens in the fall, and then the nesting process happens in like February-ish there.
And then why don't they build their own nest?
I don't know that. I don't know why. I guess it's easier to buy a house that's already there than to build your own.
I didn't know eagles were as lazy as me, but okay.
Yeah. Well, and also Shadow was not Jackie's original mate. Jackie's original mate was Mr. B, but Shadow pushed Mr. B out. So that's also what can happen. Like a male or a female can come in and usurp the other one. But and Shadow is just hilarious. Like he loves building that nest. Like he also really likes incubating the eggs, and he does pretty much everything he can to get her off the nest so that he can sit on it.
And she got herself a good one.
She did. There's a couple of times he came in with like a huge giant stick and would like hit her in the head with it until she moved. And then as soon as she moved, he'd drop the stick and get on the eggs. And it's I mean, and of course, a lot of this is anthropomorphizing birds. You just want to, well, he's whatever. But anyway, all this last Thursday, the two subadults and Jackie went at it. They all ended up on the ground. There's video that Jackie was fending them off, and she rolled over onto her back and went talons up with them and successfully defended herself, but then was unable to fly. Could not get herself back up. So they spent some time trying to figure out what they wanted to do. But she was on the ground, and then she flew to a house, and she was on the roof of the house. And honestly, I think if she hadn't gotten into like the camping area is what it looks like to me, like a cabin situation. I think if she hadn't gotten in there, I think they might have just let it go. Because they try not to interfere.
Right.
But like after the chicks hatched, Jackie had swallowed a fishing line, because you could see the fishing line coming out of her mouth. So, but it seemed to have passed just fine. But anyway, I forgot about that part. Anyhow, get back on the story, Heather. It's almost over. So Friday into Saturday, Jackie was still not flying, and they had become increasingly concerned because she was in water and she was having trouble getting out of the water, and they then decided that they were going to do something about it. They called in several different raptor rescues. They finally got the one that's like in LA. I think it's like 4 hours away. And they did come and get her, but nobody was exactly sure if it was her, but Jackie has a very distinct white patch of feather on her shoulder. So the pictures, the pictures all looked very much like it was her. And then the raptor people came and they took pictures, and it was, because they're not banded, it was certain that it was in fact Jackie. So now this poor raptor center is trying to fend off all these people who follow these eagles while trying to take care of the eagle and all that. So she was taken in at 2 a.m. They did run all the tests today. They did, so far she is anemic. She was very sick and underweight. They do not know what is causing her anemia at this point. They have done all the lead toxicity came back negative today. I found that out today. Yeah. She has no visible injuries, no broken anything. There's no sinkers in her. The hook is not in her. They did x-rays and all that. So they just don't know why, she is anemic, but they can't test for rodent side. So they said that could still be a possibility that she could have eaten a a poisoned rodent.
Right.
So that is where we stand today.
Sure. Poor
But
Jack.
today, also, one of the subadults was seen sitting on one of the trees near Shadow. Shadow was vocalizing, but he did not chase it off. So there is now some concern that while Jackie's away,
He'll be outnumbered.
yeah, she's gonna. The
Do they
only
know-
thing
Do
What?
they know how old Jackie and
they do know how old Jackie is, but I don't remember how old they said she
Oh.
is because they know when she was born, because she was born in that nest. But Shadow they don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, so she has to now. They have to wait until she comes back to see. They said the good thing about it is that it's the end of the nesting season, so there's not as big of an urge to mate. So Shadow might be able to wait for her to get back. Like that won't drive him
Right.
to get a new mate until the fall. So
My goodness. That's a lot.
it is. It is. So that's where we stand.
Okay.
She is eating, she is perching, but she is not flying.
Mhm.
And that's kind of important.
Yeah. Yeah.
She,
They need
eagle.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she needs to be able to fly.
Mhm.
So if you're following, it's Jackie and Shadow at Big Bear Lake. I don't know. I imagine that this rescue is going to get a fuck ton of money because they've been,
I hope
you know.
so.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anywho.
let's move on.
Okay.
Here, you want to get up there? No? Okay. We're gonna today, because Nicole has somewhere to be, so we have to hurry this up. Also, I'm probably not gonna edit this, so you're getting it raw.
Uh-oh.
I know. Let's fuck around and find out about the movie Labyrinth.
Yay.
And that's not Kill My Bird.
Good luck.
Yeah. Oh, you might not have seen, because you probably don't follow birds, but there was a big rescue yesterday. 300 and almost 400 birds rescued yesterday from a shop in Baltimore.
That's horrible.
Yeah, they're trying to find places for them to go. They were in various conditions.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Some films entertain you, some films comfort you, and then there are films that feel like they crawled out of your subconscious, set up a camp in your memory, and refuse to leave. Labyrinth, released in 1986 and directed by Jim Henson, is one of those films for me. On the surface, it's a fantasy about a teenage girl trying to rescue her baby brother from a goblin king. But underneath the puppets, the music, and the strange creatures, Labyrinth is a psychological journey, a map of what it feels like to move from childhood into adulthood, from self-absorption into responsibility, and from fantasy into integrated imagination. Okay. All right. So Jim Henson is the visionary behind it. To understand Labyrinth, you have to understand Jim Henson's ambition at the time. By the mid-'80s, Henson was already known worldwide for The Muppet Show and Sesame Street. He'd proven that puppets could be funny, charming, and beloved. But he wanted more. He wanted puppetry to be taken seriously as an art form, capable of drama, darkness, and emotional complexity. Also, right before we started this, when I was going to trying to find the program to record, to send you the link, there was a thing on Google about the Dark Crystal that I didn't get to read yet.
That's so funny. And today, my friend who had the surgery yesterday was talking a lot about David Bowie. I was like,
Oh, that's... Are you Alexa? Can you hear our thoughts? Henson directed film, but he wasn't just a director. He was the architect of the entire creature ecosystem. His workshop, the Jim Henson Creature Shop, designed and built the goblins, the talking door knockers, Ludo, Hoggle, Sir Didymus, and countless background creatures. They weren't just props, they were performances. Each required teams of puppeteers, voice actors, and choreographers. Henson's goal was simple and ambitious: create a fantasy world that felt tactile and lived in, where every creature had weight, texture, and presence. No digital shortcuts, just craftsmanship. So, like, for reals, like...
Yeah, like legit made a movie.
Yeah.
Didn't pitch in a program to a computer.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Behind the scenes, another giant name appears: George Lucas. Lucas served as executive producer on Labyrinth. By this point, he had already reshaped cinema with Star Wars. His involvement brought narrative discipline and structural support to Henson's imaginative chaos. Lucas helped refine the script, tighten the story, and ensure that Sarah's journey had a clear emotional arc. Where Henson brought creatures and heart, Lucas brought pacing and story logic. The result is a film that feels both dreamlike and surprisingly coherent. It wanders, but it doesn't lose itself. Brian Fowle is the visual DNA of the project. If you've ever looked at a goblin in Labyrinth and thought that feels like it came out of strange fairy tale, you're feeling the influence of Brian Fowle. Fowle was the conceptual designer for the film. His illustrations, full of crooked noses, asymmetrical faces, and earthy, mischievous creatures, became the blueprint for the goblin world. The film's aesthetic is not sleek or polished. It's organic, messy, and slightly grotesque. And that is why I like it.
Yeah. And that is a very excellent description of it.
The Labyrinth isn't meant to look like a pristine fantasy kingdom. It's meant to look like the inside of a mind, cluttered, inconsistent, and full of odd, half-formed beings. The screenplay for Labyrinth went through multiple drafts and contributors, but one name stands out: Terry Jones of Monty Python fame. Mm-hmm. Jones brought a sense of absurdist humor and playful logic to the dialogue. Many of the film's quirky exchanges, the talking door knockers, the riddles, the bizarre etiquette of Sir Didymus, carry his fingerprints. I mean, Sir Didymus carries Monty Python, like...
Oh, yeah.
It's got Monty Python fingerprints all over it.
It really is such a great collaboration of three really great minds.
Yeah. The script balances three tones: whimsy, surrealism, and emotional sincerity. The balance is fragile. Oh, shit. Too much whimsy and the film becomes fluff. Too much surrealism and it becomes alienating. Too much sincerity and it risks melodrama. Oh my God. Labyrinth walks that tightrope with surprising grace. So, who was in it? Who was in it?
Who was in it?
Why, Jennifer Connelly was in it.
She was.
She is Sarah, imperfect. And that's the point. Jennifer Connelly was around 14 years old when she played Sarah Williams. At that age, most actors are directed to be either precious or adorably naive. Connelly's Sarah is neither. Sarah is dramatic, self-absorbed, frustrated, theatrical in the way that only a teenager who lives in fantasy can be.
Yeah, well, that kind of describes any teenager.
I know. That describes me most of the time. She's not wrong. Connelly's performance is crucial because the entire film rests on whether we believe Sarah's emotional journey. She starts the film reciting lines from a fantasy book in a park, dressed in a theatrical outfit, lost in her own world. She feels misunderstood by her parents, burdened by babysitting, and resentful of her baby brother, Toby. And she's not wrong that her life feels unfair, but also not right in how she handled it. Connelly plays the tension beautifully. She doesn't try to make Sarah cool or relatable in a modern sense. She lets Sarah be messy, immature, and reactive. That makes her growth later in the film feel earned.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who was Jareth? David Bowie's casting as Jareth the Goblin King is one of the most defining choices in the film. Bowie was already a global music icon, known for his shape-shifting personas and androgynous, otherworldly presence. Bringing him into Labyrinth wasn't just about star power. It was about embodying temptation. Jareth is not a monster. He's not a cackling villain. He's a seductive, calm, and strangely vulnerable. He offers Sarah a world where she doesn't have to grow up, she doesn't have to be responsible, and doesn't have to face the consequences of her actions. Bowie's performance is layered. His physical presence is demanding, indeed, but graceful. His voice, both speaking and singing, wraps the film in a hypnotic tone. His eyes and posture, half smile, all suggest someone who is both in control and deeply invested in Sarah's choices. He's not just trying to win, he's trying to be chosen. And I also, before when we recorded this the first time, just said, just remember, I get it. It's problematic that David Bowie was probably in his 30s and she was 14 and blah, blah, blah. But it was the 80s and a different time.
And as you'll get to, there was not any
Overtly
physical touch, nothing sexualized, just a dirty old man chasing a 14-year-old.
Yep.
Okay.
Who's David Bowie?
Who happens to be the very
Who
sexy
happens to be happens to be. So the baby at the center of the story, Toby, is played by Toby Froud, Brian Froud's son. Toby doesn't have lines, but he has a function. He is the living embodiment of responsibility. He's the thing Sarah doesn't want to deal with at the beginning of the film. Oh, no. She just made my fucking thing go crazy. She doesn't want to deal with at the beginning of the film. He's the innocent consequence of her careless wish. The fact that Toby is so small, so vulnerable, and so unaware of what's happening amplifies the stakes. It isn't a quest for a magic artifact. It's a rescue mission for a human life. And I also think that that's very true. The fact that the baby is actually real. Like a real baby.
Which didn't happen a lot back then. And it was very movies back then that it was a doll.
Yeah. And they could have easily, not had him in it as much or not. Okay, Rocky. I don't know why my animals are insane today, but they are. I think they could have used a puppet for it. I mean, they could have. I think it makes it more real that it is an actual baby.
Yep.
Or they could have just not shown the baby at all. It just had it alluded to. And
yeah, exactly.
And how great is it that he's that guy's son? That's pretty
cool.
Oh my God. Behind every creature in Labyrinth is a team of performers whose names are less known, but whose work is essential. Hoggle is a combination of a full body costume, animatronic facial controls, and voice performance. Multiple puppeteers coordinate to bring his expression to life. Ludo's sad. Ludo's really sad right now. You're making Ludo sad. Ludo required a massive costume and physical endurance, plus vocal work to convey his gentle nature. Sir Didymus involved rod puppetry and voice acting to create his exaggerated bravado. The performers had to act through layers of foam, latex, and mechanical rigs. They had to hit marks, respond to cues, and convey emotion without the benefit of their own face. In many ways, Labyrinth is an ensemble film where half the cast is hidden inside creatures.
Mm-hmm.
So the film opens with Sarah in a park reciting lines from a fantasy book titled Labyrinth. She's dressed in a theatrical outfit, lost in her own imagination. When she realizes she's late to babysit Toby, she rushes home, already annoyed. Her stepmother criticizes her for being childish. Her father is distant, trying to keep the peace. Toby's crying, demanding attention. Sarah's refrain, "It's not fair," is the emotional thesis of her starting point. She sees herself as the victim of everyone else's expectations. I don't know why. This is important. The film doesn't invalidate her feelings. It doesn't say she's wrong to feel overwhelmed. It says she's wrong to believe that she has no agency. Mm-hmm. Which, as a teenager, you don't feel like you have any control over anything.
Absolutely not. Your parents say no, and that's it. Like
that's that. Yeah.
And Yeah. Sucks
You
for
don't have you don't have control over your body. Your hormones are out of control. Like you just don't have any control at all.
Mhm.
Nothing.
Yep.
Except your imagination.
To quote SpongeBob.
Yes. Imagination. In a moment of frustration, Sarah stands in Toby's room and recites a monologue from her book, wishing the goblins would take him away. And then they do. Which I told you before that, you know, my sister who was here last week, I too would stand in her room and recite the Goblin King thing, but they never came for her. I know.
Life isn't fair.
It's not fair. So the goblins who had been lurking unseen respond to her words. Toby disappears. The room goes silent. The wind picks up and Jareth appears. This is the turning point where fantasy stops being harmless. Sarah's imagination has consequences. Her words have power. The film is telling us you can't live in a story without eventually becoming responsible for what you say and do. Jareth offers Sarah a deal. He'll keep Toby and she can go back to her life, or she can enter the labyrinth and try to rescue him. He gives her 13 hours to solve the maze. This is more than a plot device. It's a metaphor for adolescence. There is a limited window where you can choose who you're going to be. The clock is ticking. Childhood is ending. The labyrinth is the journey between who you were and who you're becoming.
Shoot, that's so deep.
I know. When I was going through this, I was like, you know, I didn't really think this movie was that deep. But
Yeah.
I get it now.
Yeah, I need to watch it from this new perspective.
I know, right? When Sarah first arrives at the Sarah chooses to end the labyrinth. Obviously, otherwise this would be a very short movie. And it wouldn't be called Labyrinth. It'd be called like, what the fuck happened to Toby? Where the fuck did Toby go? Why did no one call CPS when the baby went missing?
Yeah, for real.
When Sarah first arrives at the labyrinth, she encounters a long straight wall with no visible entrance. She walks along it frustrated until a small worm reveals that there was a door right in front of her the whole time. And I love that motherfucking worm. He's so cute. I want to get a labyrinth tattoo, and I can't figure out what I want. I can't make up my. No, we're not going to bite the dog. We're not biting the dog. Okay, maybe the little worm.
Yeah, there you go.
This moment sets the tone. The labyrinth doesn't obey normal logic. It obeys emotional logic. Things are hidden until you change perspective. Paths appear only when you stop assuming you know how they work. Help comes from unexpected places. I don't like that's not the truth and a half. I mean, you don't really get that till you're older when you realize like, oh, maybe that way is not working. Maybe I should, instead of just banging your head against the wall. Yeah.
Wisdom is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And paths only appear when you stop assuming you know how they work. I mean, if that doesn't say something.
Yeah. Well, hard learned lesson on this end here. Yeah.
The labyrinth is less a physical space and more a representation of Sarah's inner confusion. She's trying to navigate a world where the rules she thought she knew were no longer apply. Sarah meets Hoggle, a grumpy, self-interested creature who is more concerned with his own comfort than with helping her. Same, Hoggle. Same. Hoggle is bribed by Jareth, intimidated by danger, and constantly torn between self-preservation and loyalty. He's the part of Sarah that wants to avoid discomfort, that wants shortcuts, that wants to escape responsibility. Throughout the film, Hoggle evolves. He betrays Sarah at one point, giving her a poisoned peach, but he also saves her, apologizes, and chooses loyalty over fear. Hoggle's arc mirrors Sarah's. Both must learn that doing the right thing often means facing what scares you. The Fieries. One of the film's most surreal sequences, Sarah encounters the Fireys, creatures who can detach their own heads and limbs, treating their bodies like toys. They represent a kind of chaotic freedom, the idea of living without consequences, where you can pull yourself apart and put yourself back together without pain.
And again, I'll say that was me in college.
Yeah, because here comes the
Pure
part. that's-
chaos. Pure chaos.
And here's the part where you understand and how. But their playfulness turns threatening when they try to remove Sarah's head. The scene shifts from silly to sinister, showing that a world without boundaries quickly becomes dangerous. Yes, because Nicole did, in fact, try to remove my head numerous times.
I did. And there would have been a lot more consequences for me if I hadn't had really
Yes.
good friends
Yes.
who watched out for me.
Yes. Yes.
Tossed me in the backseat of the car when the time was
Right, was ready to
ready.
go.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this podcast be where the fuck did Nicole go?
For sure.
Sarah, Hoggle, and Ludo eventually reach the Ludo's sad. That Ludo represents like her sadness, and they reach the bog of eternal stench, a place so foul that anyone who falls in it will smell terrible forever.
Yep.
The bog is a metaphor for permanent consequences. Some choices don't wash off. Some actions leave marks that don't fade. To cross the bog, they need Sir Didymus, a fox-like knight who guards a bridge and insists on rules that don't make any sense.
Just like life.
I love Sir Didymus. You are just tearing this shit up.
Maybe that can be your tattoo. Oh, the fox and the worm.
The fox and the worm. Sir Didymus is all bravado and honor. He represents the part of Sarah that wants to be noble, that wants to follow the rules, that wants to be the hero, but his rules are arbitrary and his courage is performative. Sarah learns to navigate both, respecting his courage while also bending the rules when necessary. One of the most psychologically rich scenes in Labyrinth takes place in the junkyard. Sarah is led to a replica of her building, filled with her possessions, toys, books, costumes. A junk lady piles objects onto her, insisting that these things are what matter. This is the temptation of nostalgia. It's the idea that you can stay safe by clinging to the past, surrounding yourself with familiar things and refusing to move forward.
And I know people like that.
Yes.
Far too well.
But as the junk piles up, Sarah begins to realize that this comfort is a trap. She's being buried under her own history. She has to choose stay in the illusion of safety or break free and continue her journey. And she chooses to break free. The Escher room. The climax of the film takes place in a room inspired by the art of M.C. Escher. Stairs going in impossible directions, gravity-defying logic, Toby crawling in places that seem unreachable. Do you remember, like, M.C. Escher had, like, this big, huge moment in, like, the 90s or the early 2000s?
Yeah, it was everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yes.
And then it all just went away.
It did. He has a house somewhere here in the United States. Because my brother-in-law was super into him.
Oh. It's crazy, right? Like, you think about how it was everywhere and then it just stopped. And then I sometimes think about when Gregorian chants were a thing and they were everywhere.
Oh my God.
And then
Gregorian chant.
And then that just stopped.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy how that works. Like, just one day, it's like...
Yeah, we get bored with it. On to the next thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. So the climax of the film takes place in a room inspired by the art of M.C. Escher. I said that already. The room is the ultimate metaphor for perspective. Nothing is stable. Up is down. Down is sideways. Sarah has to navigate not just space, but perception. Jareth appears here trying one last time to convince her to stay with him. He offers her love, adoration, and a world built around her. But like I said, just disregard the fact that he's too old. Yeah. pretend like she's 18 and he's 23. Sarah has changed. She sees that his world, while beautiful, is not real. It's a fantasy that requires her to surrender her autonomy. I think that's true too.
Mm-hmm.
And then she speaks the line that breaks everything. And like I said before, and I said it this morning and yesterday morning, especially yesterday morning, because yesterday at work sucked monkey ass. So when I went in, I turned and looked at all my stuff and I said, "You have no power over me." And it did, because I did not get home until this week has been I don't know what's happening, but
Yeah, I know. It must be. I think I read something's in retrograde and it might be the worst one yet.
oh, great.
Mercury.
I hope that ends soon,
Yeah.
because
Same.
this week has been ugh.
Yeah. I'm not built
So
for
many-
this.
No, I'm not either. And I had so much yesterday. It just sucked so bad. And it's been hot.
It was lovely today though.
Yes, today it was absolutely gorgeous. This bird is gonna kill me. Da, 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 da. So she says, "You have no power over me." This is the emotional core of the film. Sarah is not just rejecting Jareth, she's rejecting the idea that her life is controlled by external forces, whether fantasy, resentment, or other people's expectations. She claims her own power. I'm gonna punch this bird in the face. At its heart, Labyrinth is about the tension between responsibility and escape. Sarah starts the film wanting to escape. Ow, ow. Escaping babysitting, escape family conflict, escape the discomfort of growing up. The labyrinth forces her to confront the consequences of escape. Every shortcut has a cost. Every refusal to act leads to danger. Every fantasy that removes responsibility becomes... Did I say that? By the end, she doesn't reject fantasy, she rejects escapism.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most powerful messages in Labyrinth is that imagination is not something you outgrow. It's something you learn to use differently.
Yep.
At the beginning, Sarah uses imagination to avoid reality. She hides in stories, costumes, and dramatic monologues. By the end, she uses imagination to navigate reality. She solves riddles. She sees through illusions. She recognizes manipulation. Her imagination becomes a tool for discernment and not avoidance. Which, you have to learn how to, I don't want to say disassociate and use your imagination to get through life.
I don't know. Disassociation isn't so bad.
All right, well, that's that. It's just funny how imagination does change in you as you get older.
It does. I think a lot more of your imagination is fearful than it is when
Yes.
you're a kid. It's more
That is
whimsical
true.
as a child. Yeah. Now my imagination just
Jumps off a cliff every day.
every day. Multiple times a day.
Yes. Mhm.
It's called anxiety.
Yes. You have no power over me is more than a line. It's a declaration of identity. Throughout the film, Sarah is pulled between different forces. Jareth's seduction, her parents' expectations, her own fantasies, her fear and guilt. In the Escher room, she realizes that none of these forces can define her unless she lets them. She chooses self-authority. This is a critical... Oh, no. Uh-oh. Speaking of critical, my battery. Everyone hold, please. This is the fun of you getting to hear. Oh, shit. Getting to hear. Oh, my God.
It's a sin you guys only
Oh, I
get
have-
to hear this and not see it. It's pretty entertaining.
I'm fighting with literally everything right now. I'm going to have to
It
try and
really
figure
is.
out how to cut this out because that can't stay.
Good luck.
I
with
hit
that.
I hit the mic like 19 times. Okay, we're charging.
Okay.
Good. Oh my God. Okay. In the Escher room, she realizes that none of these forces can define her unless she lets them. She chooses self-authority. This is a critical coming-of-age moment, the realization that you can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control what you give power to. That is what my therapist used to say. You can only control what you can control.
My therapist and I just talked about that about an hour ago.
See? Good thing you had therapy.
Oh, thank God.
Because you didn't have it last week, right?
No. And I told her that this morning when I was thinking of the stress of the day, I was like, man, I might have to cancel therapy, which I've never, ever done. And then I was like, wait, you're thinking about canceling therapy because you're too anxious and stressed and like freaking out. And she's like, you would be surprised at how many people cancel with me because they say they're too stressed or they have too much going on. And she's like,
That's kind of why we're here.
Yeah.
Hoggle, Ludo, and Sir Didymus are not just side characters. They can be read as aspects of Sarah's psyche. Hoggle is fear and self-protection. Ludo is vulnerability and empathy. Where'd my paper go? Sir Didymus is courage and performative heroism. As Sarah learns to trust them, she's learning to trust those parts of herself. As they grow, she grows. The film suggests that becoming whole is not about eliminating your flaws, but about integrating them.
Mm-hmm.
The soundtrack of Labyrinth is not just background music, it's emotional commentary. I mean, I don't know how you think you could get David Bowie and not have like a kick-ass soundtrack.
For real. Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
and imagine how much like pressure there was for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're like, well, David Bowie is gonna sing my shit.
He's gonna be judging us.
Yeah. Magic Dance plays during a scene where Jareth entertains the goblins with baby Toby. It's playful, catchy, and slightly unsettling. Underneath the fun, there's a darker truth. Toby is being used as a prop in Jareth's world. You remind me of Babe. What Babe? The Babe with the power. What power? The power of voodoo. Who do you do? Do what? Remind me of the Babe. It's my favorite. I love that part. As the World Falls Down accompanies the ballroom scene where Sarah is swept into a dreamlike masquerade. The song is tender and romantic, but the visuals are disorienting. It's the seduction of fantasy, beautiful but disorienting. Within You plays during the Escher room sequence. It's introspective, almost mournful. Jareth sings about being trapped within his own world, hinting that he too is bound by the rules of the labyrinth. The music gives voice to the emotional undercurrents of each scene. Bowie's presence as both actor and musician ties the film's psychological themes together. Mm-hmm. In an era before digital effects dominated fantasy, Labyrinth relied almost entirely on practical effects. Puppets were built with intricate mechanical systems to control eyes, mouths, and facial expressions. Sets were constructed to create forced perspective and visual illusions. Costumes were heavily layered and physically demanding. The physicality matters. The world of Labyrinth feels real because it is real. The creatures occupy space. The goblins cast shadow. The labyrinth walls are solid. That tangibility reinforces the film's message. Even fantasy has weight. Even imagination has structure. Mm-hmm. To create the illusion of the impossible stairs in the Escher room, the production used carefully designed sets and camera angles. Toby's movement across the space is choreographed to feel both plausible and impossible. Symbolically, the room represents the instability of perception. Sarah's journey has taught her that in reality, not always what it seems. In the final test, she must navigate a world where nothing is stable and still find the way to Toby. She succeeds not by mastering the space, but by mastering herself. Stop it. Where's my paper? After defeating Jareth, not with violence, but with the declaration of self-authority, Sarah returns home. Toby is safe and the crisis is over. But something has changed. She looks at her room differently. The toys, the costumes, the fantasy objects are still there, but they no longer function as escape routes. They are part of her, not all of her. She checks on Toby with genuine care. She accepts her role in his life. Responsibility is no longer an unfair burden. It's a choice she's willing to make. In the final moments, Sarah sees her labyrinth companions, Hoggle, Ludo, Sir Didymus, appear in her room, and they celebrate together. It can be read as a literal visualization from another world, as symbolic representation of her integrated imagination, as a visual metaphor for the idea that growing up doesn't mean abandoning what made you feel alive. The key point is Sarah does not reject fantasy. She relocates it. It's no longer a place to hide. It's a place where she can visit while still living in reality. Why does Labyrinth still resonate with us? It's not because of nostalgia. It's not because of retro aesthetics or remember when energy. It's because the film captures something timeless. The emotional chaos of becoming a person who can hold both responsibility and imagination at the same time. It speaks to anyone who has felt overwhelmed by expectations, anyone who has wanted to escape their life, anyone who's realized painfully that their words and choices have consequences, anyone who has had to say, "You have no power over me," to something that once felt irresistible. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, this is for me. Oh, no. Okay. I swear to God. She just made everything go away.
It still says we're recording, so.
Okay, good. Thank God. Because, like, she shut everything down. Oh, my God. All right. It speaks. I did that. Labyrinth is not just a fantasy movie. It's a psychological journey disguised as a fairy tale. Story about learning to walk throughout your own mind, confront your own illusions, and come out on the other side with a clearer sense of who you are. And that's why, decades later, it still feels like a maze worth walking. So I got some fun facts.
Fun facts.
The original Hoggle puppet, the full animatronic suit was accidentally lost in transit and ended up in an unclaimed luggage center in Alabama. It sat there for years until someone recognized it. Today, it's restored and displayed at the Unclaimed Baggage Museum.
That's so crazy. Like, how did they not find it?
How do you not know it's Jim Henson's and like call and be like, "Hey,
yeah, I mean, I guess it wasn't a digital world back then, but and what did they do? Did they have to build a new one?
Oh no, it was after the movie was over. So as they were bringing it back, because it was all filmed in the UK. So
okay.
I guess when they were bringing it back, it got lost. Was it in like a bag? Or was it just like sitting up in the corner? Like, how do you not be like, that's a weird thing to think on a plane?
I don't know.
That's for all you listening. Next time, do not check your Hoggle puppet. Just take him on the plane with you. Buy the extra seat.
Exactly.
Jim Henson.
Yeah.
Take some of your Muppet movie money and buy him an extra seat. All the mesmerizing crystal ball contact that David Bowie had, contact juggling, was performed by Michael Motion, a world-renowned juggler. He stood behind Bowie, blind with his arms reaching around Bowie's body, performing the tricks without even seeing what he was doing. That's impressive.
So crazy. That's so crazy. And you only have like half your arm to use because
it's around David Bowie.
Yeah.
But you have to hug David Bowie the whole time.
I was going to say, and you are wrapped around David Bowie and you have to focus on juggling.
Yeah. That's a lot of fucking pressure.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Every goblin, creature, and odd little face in the film comes from Brian Froud's personal sketchbook. Henson didn't ask him to redesign anything. He told the creature shop to build the creatures exactly as Froud drew them. The masquerade ball sequence was filmed with dozens of professional dancers wearing heavy, elaborate masks. The scene took weeks to choreograph and was shot on a massive set built specifically for that moment. The iconic red and white striped onesie Toby wears in the film becomes a running joke in the Froud household. Brian Froud later used similar stripes in other designs as a subtle nod to Labyrinth.
Aww.
Sir Didymus was inspired by medieval illustrations. His design, fox-like, knightly, and absurdly confident, comes from old European manuscripts where animals were drawn performing heroic acts. And I could just see him like in the corner of like an old, like one of those old history books that did that kind of stuff that when you were a kid to make you more interested in it.
Yep.
They were like, oh, look at this. The Bog of Eternal Stench was built using real mud from latex rocks, bubbling chemical pools, hidden air hoses to create movement. The smell wasn't real, but the heat from the set lights made the mud steam, which made filming miserable.
Ugh.
Yeah. Bowie's pants became a cultural phenomenon.
Of course.
The tight, glittery pants Bowie wears as Jareth sparked decades of controversy. Costume designer Ellis Flight said the look was intentional. Jareth needed to be dangerous, alluring, and slightly unsettling.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I like my men. I said, and the last time we recorded this, I said that I feel like David Bowie's Jareth is why I was into all the Bad Boys.
Oh yeah,
I feel like that was my first foray into the love of the bad boy,
definitely
the villain. Because I love a villain.
Mm-hmm.
I love the villain in every story. My favorite character in The Little Mermaid is Ursula.
Ursula, yep. I'm pretty sure your favorite character in most Disney movies is
the villain. Yeah. Probably. Well, they're always dark.
Yeah.
So,
and you like it dark.
I do. Ludo's costume weighed over 70 pounds. The performer inside Ludo, Ron Mueck, had to take frequent breaks because the suit was so heavy and hot. It required multiple puppeteers to operate the facial expressions remotely. Ludo's sad.
Well, that's why Ludo was sad.
Yeah, I bet.
Hot. His costume was heavy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sad when I'm hot too. The door knockers, each door knocker had internal mechanisms that allowed the mouth and ring to move independently. They were operated by multiple puppeteers coordinated in real time. Labyrinth was not a box office success. Critics were confused by its tone. Henson took the disappointment personally, feeling he had failed to push puppetry forward. It wasn't until years later that the film became a cult classic, which I didn't realize.
That it was a cult classic?
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was a cult classic, but I didn't realize it wasn't popular.
Yeah, well, you would have been like 8 when it came out, or 10.
No, I was 10. I was 86. I was 12, right?
12. Yeah, but you still wouldn't have known that. But it's crazy that those three great minds came together and it wasn't like a smash hit.
I know. You would think if you get David Bowie in there.
Right, and that too. Like, yeah.
David Bowie alone should have made it popular.
Right.
I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Several demos exist of Bowie experimenting with different musical directions for Jareth. Some were more rock-oriented, others more theatrical. Only a handful made it to the final film. Can you imagine those? How much that shit would go for right now?
Oh my God.
I mean,
crazy.
Insane.
Yeah.
The helping hands that formed faces and talked to Sarah required dozens of performers. Each hand had to be choreographed to create expressions, eyes, mouth, cheeks, all in real time. That was all done like in real time. That's crazy too.
Yep.
Oh, my work bestie just texted. He wanted to know what game we both won on.
Oh.
That was him texting me. He only won 12 cents. David Bowie's makeup took hours every day. The Labyrinth was built on the largest soundstage in Britain. The film used the massive H stage at Elstree Studio. the same studio used for Star Wars and Indiana Jones. Many sets were built full scale and not miniature. That's crazy also that it was
That
not
is.
all miniature.
Yeah.
Sarah's bedroom is a symbolic inventory of the entire film. Not every creature or challenge she faces appears in her room. Nearly every creature or challenge appears in her room. Ludo is a stuffed animal. Sir Didymus is a figurine. The Fieries are drawings. Jareth resembles a music box figurine. The Labyrinth is a poster. The Escher print hangs on her wall. The film tells you from the beginning that the Labyrinth is her mind. Okay, stop doing that. So, that's it for my fun facts. The bird is biting the shit out of me because I won't let her bite my phone. If you watched the film before, maybe this gives you a new lens. If you haven't, maybe now you'll see it just not as a fantasy, but as a mirror. Because somewhere inside of all of us, there's a labyrinth. And somewhere inside that labyrinth, there's a voice waiting to say, you have no power over me.
Yeah.
Except this bird currently has power over me.
She does.
She's
Total
biting.
complete control.
She's been biting the shit out of me.
She has. I've watched.
I need. I'm about to
But
fix
thank
her
you
little
so
wagon.
much for that fun script.
Yeah. It was fun to do. And I cooked her little wagon. Look.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun to do, and I just fucking love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched it a million times. It was Christine and I's movie. We would quote it all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
it's makes me very happy and sad all at the same time.
Right. And that's what makes a great movie.
Yeah. And it I haven't watched it in last time I saw it was about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to watch it again. I feel like it holds up.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
that's just, except for the whole David Bowie's too old for Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah.
But it was 1986 and that was the thing. And then he goes on to do The Dark Crystal, which is also one of my fucking favorite movies. I mean, you can't.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Okay, well, I better wrap this up before I have to murder the bird.
Yeah, don't record that.
Yeah, I won't. Well, thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome back, Nicole.
Thank you, and thank you to Jess for filling in last week.
Yes, I'm trying to get her to do. She'll do another one. I feel like
Okay.
she was nervous, but she warmed up after a while. I think the three of us. I enjoyed that she called you out on it.
I know.
That was my favorite part. Anyway, you can find us where you find all podcasts. You can like, share, rate, review.
Please.
Can find us on all the socials at Like Whatever Pod.
Mm-hmm.
We have a website, www.likewhateverpod.com. We have merch on there. You can send us an email about what your favorite quote from the Labyrinth is to likewhateverpod@gmail.com, or don't like whatever.
Whatever.
Bye.